anybody to justify drugs at all, period. So I want to make that clear. And obviously that's complicated, and there's a lot of clients that I have that are involved with drugs that are really striving. I got a text message from a guy right now. He works for City Carting, and that's a garbage company, and he had some PCP issues. But I never met him or find a gentleman. And he just texted me in a way up here that he's in the drug class, he's doing well, and et cetera, et cetera. And let me just highlight something with that before I answer a total question. We have a problem with Norwalk, period. That's been historical. It's just been that way. Let me just put it out there. Every lawyer in the state will whisper about how they don't like Norwalk and how Norwalk has been run, and they want to close that hellhole down. Period. Speaking about this gentleman, he had a case that he got on the highway in Norwalk, exit 14, and he's heading towards Stanford. The police come behind him, and they have the strobe lights on, and he's not trying to evade them. He's not going in and out of lanes. He's just driving straight because I think he's under influence. So he gets to exit 6 in Norwalk, and in Stanford, he pulls off, and there's a big roadblock. And so then he's like, they do whatever they have to do, they arrest him, whatever. He's like, oh, those lights are for me. I thought that was just my background lights. So he gets arrested, etc. Now, when you get arrested and you're on probation, they violate your probation. They file what they call a BOP warrant, whatever, and you're done. No more supervision. The judge has to then find you in violation, and he can give you the time that you owe. Well, while he's in that status, there's no more supervision from the Department of Probation, but the treatment facility he's going to steps in an enormous way and calls the court and is like, look, we have to call you and tell you, not only does this guy get it, he's helping to move this program along, he's speaking to other people, he's a hard worker, etc. Probation says, look, we normally are out of this, but we want to let you know, Attorney Crosland, that this is what we're getting. They won't stop sending us letters, they won't stop calling. We're supposed to be doing nothing. Once we write the warrant for the violation of probation, we're done. But they can't help it. So they come with me up to Judge Comerford's chambers, Judge in Stanford, and they articulate verbally what's going on. The judge says, let me eyeball this guy. He looks, he says, oh, I see this guy in court every time. He's the one with the dreadlocks in the city car. He wears uniform all the time. He goes, I want you to do this, 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 and this. He does everything. The judge says, no way I'm going to put this guy back in jail. I'm going to reinstate him on probation and allow him to go on, right? Well, that's the Stanford. Stanford has the VOP. So wherever the VOP is, they call it the controlling court. Well, Stanford did all this work in watching him, eyeballing him, getting all the letters, etc., from all of the treatment facilities, etc. Then we get back up to Norwalk, and I say to Norwalk, look, you guys promised that if Stanford worked this out and they're on the ground, they're the controlling docket, then we'll let this go. And all he had is motor vehicles. The Norwalk case is just simply evading the police and failure to stop with some crap because he kept going. Now, the head prosecutor from Norwalk says, we don't care what Stanford is doing, we want jail. That's the words, and I have it written down in the file. We don't care what Stanford does, we want jail. For no other particular reason, but we want jail. So, that's a long way to highlight to you. Norwalk is a problem. It's a problem. They've had, the NWSP came to Norwalk a couple of years ago and was monitoring the dispositions of the blacks versus the whites. And I call it the khaki pants, blue blazer dispo. That's what the white kids get. They come to court, they just got a blue blazer from wherever, I don't know, maybe from whatever, and then the khaki pants are like way down here, and then they have like these boating shoes or whatever, the moccasins, and they just like, and then the lawyer stands there and like, he's a great kid, that's it for him, he's a great kid. The rest of it is about the parents. Wonderful parents, hedge fund owners, they live in New Canaan, blah, 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 blah. Nothing else about this kid. He gets the blue blazer, khaki pants, dispo, it's over. And that was going on in Norwalk for a long time. And so I think what we could do is write Kevin Kane and tell Kevin Kane, look, drop this case, we have a problem with Norwalk. You've learned X, whatever. If you learned anything from me or anything that you've read, articulate what you've learned and say to them you want them to stop spending your money on this case in Norwalk. And write also Suzanne Buell, who's the Norwalk prosecutor. Write him and copy her so she can get it as well.
I'll just add that a lot of the information in terms of the contact information is. I know you all are really resourceful when it comes to using the internet, right? So you can find a lot of information. And as Attorney Crosland said, write Suzanne Buell, and you know, can CC her on his letter and CC him in her letter, you know, his letter, vice versa, so that she knows that contact is a state level and the other way around. Her last name is Vieux, by the way, just so that you have a clue when you're looking online. You know, you can also write, you know, in terms of blogging and putting things out there, you know, into the ether of the internet, you know what I mean? Because when people do their Google searches, you know, there's a matter of what kind of information they're going to find, and different things get different levels. So it's always interesting, like, you know, if you put something in, what you're going to get back. And a lot of that has to do with what people are putting into it in the first place. So,
and I think just make sure they don't shut you down with this whole idea, she's been arrested for drugs, I told you. Explain to them what I just explained to you. And articulate what the paper's in writing. This has been an undercover sting, there's a stamp copy. Don't go for that. Tell them that we understand that there's some drug issues and we're not supporting that, but this larceny charge should go away and even the drug case should be looked into.